Well, I just wanted to see if you had ever seen this, those of you that raise chickens. This is an egg that I found out in the chicken yard. And it's a little shriveled now. It looked like, just to look at it, it looked like a regular egg, but I could tell that it was what I call a soft shell. It just does not have a hard shell. I'm gonna feed it to my dog. I'll tear it and feed it to my dog. But, and I don't know what it is. I get maybe 3 or 4 of them a year, maybe one every 2 or 3 months, something like that. And I've had them with all the different breeds of chickens that I've raised. But some of you, I'm sure, know what that's all about and why they do that. But they just did not make a hard shell for their egg. And I feed them a good ration. It's a laying pellet that's got all the stuff in it, calcium and such, to make the eggs hard, egg shells hard. But and also some, I leave out oyster shells, things like that, to make, so they will make a good shell. And most of the shells, especially with these Buff Orpingtons, are just as hard as they can be. I mean, they're kind of hard to crack. I had one chicken when I had my Rhode Island Reds that was just, it was a hard shell, but it was just very, very thin. I mean, if another chicken climbed in the nest to lay, and the thin-shelled egg was in there, nine times out of 10, she would sit on it and bust it. It was just that thin. So I had to clean out the nest a lot. I wish I could have found out which one it was. But anyway, they're gone now, and the Buff Orpingtons are laying, and they have a real thick shell. But one of them did what I call a soft shell. I'm sure there's a word for that, a name for that. If you know what it is, why it happens, shout out in the comments. There's nothing wrong with it. I probably wouldn't have eaten it unless I was hungry, simply because it doesn't have that protective coating. There's a membrane when a hen lays an egg. There's a membrane that as it exits, get too descriptive here, I guess. As it exits, she leaves a membrane on it that helps it last a long time. An egg can last, for, well, I'm not going to say how long because I don't want you eating one a month old, but our parents and grandparents, whatever, used to leave eggs laying out on the counter. They didn't refrigerate their eggs. And, but when you wash it, and you should, when you wash an egg, then you need to refrigerate it because you're taking that membrane off. Some of you just learned a little something. Some of you are probably saying, you didn't get it right. And that's okay. That's okay. I don't get a lot of stuff right. But there's a little soft shell egg. I didn't know whether some of you have never seen that. And some of you have, and probably get that from time to time yourself. Just a little. My wife looked at it and said, ew, what is that? Evidently, I'd never shown her one. Usually I just wind up feeding them to the dog and don't bring them in the house. But I thought you might want to see it. Was it worth 3 minutes of your time? I don't know. We'll see. Almost 4 minutes of your time. But it's a little soft shell. All right. What is it? What is it called? Why does it happen? Somebody comment. I don't think there's anything I could do to fix it. Simply because most all of them are just as hard as they can be, the shells. So I'm feeding them the right ration. I'm feeding a laying ration that is supposed to be good for laying eggs. So, but this one look like what's that, hacky sack thing? I don't know. I'm not going to try to kick it around very much. Anyway, 4 minutes of your time lost if you don't care. All right. I'm going to give it to the dog. We go.